Welcome back, or if you're just joining me for the first time, welcome to my channel. I'm Trisha with Chocolate Musings. I love to bullet journal, which includes planning and journaling in one, paint, draw, and create lettered art. This channel is dedicated to help you find your inner muse and grow creatively in your life's journey. Today I will be setting up my bullet journal for February 5th through the 11th, which is Monday through Sunday. I like to have my week start on a Monday and end on a Sunday, only because I like to make my weekends seem bigger. And I will be doodling some banners today. I know that these are really fun to draw, but can be very frustrating. So I wanted to show you a few ways to create some of these banners. Also made some here on the back. I maybe not do some of the fancier ones, but will create them as a printable. This roll of parchment is one of my favorites. Maybe I'll pull out a bullet journal that I've got a parchment in that I really, really love. And then I will also find the original reference where I saw this done and how to do it on Instagram. So what I was thinking is I would do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, and they can be shorter right here. So for the first two, I'll just do some simple banners, I think. I will be doing these in pencil because mistakes happen. And then I will trace over it later with a fine liner, most likely this one that I got at Michael's, or I will use one of my Pigma Micron pens. This one is a 0.3, it's my favorite size, so I will probably use that to trace over it. So for the first one, and you can see I've drawn some lines just as guidelines. On this one, I'm going to have the banner come off the side. So the big thing about banners, to start with, is to have parallel lines. And on this one, let me bring this up here so that I can use this part of Monday. And then I am going to have a separator between the 2 days so that I can have things go off the side of the box if I want to. I have 4 centimeters or 8 boxes. So I am going to have my banner be 2 boxes wide. I'm just going to start that. And it is going to go about 3/4 of the way across. So I use the dots as a guide. And I think I'll just end it, or maybe I'll have it curve a little. You can make it have a flag shape at the end, or you can just have a straight line, or you can have a curve. Starting out, actually we'll just do a straight line. And then I will draw the other side of my box. And notice that I did go off the edge just a little bit here. And it's not much. It's not a whole box, but it does make it look like the banner is going off the edge. Depending on which way you want to draw it, it doesn't matter. You can have a little extra curve going up and around, or if you wanted it to be coming from the bottom, you could do that. You won't want to do both. Then it looks like a scrap of paper or a banner coming from around there. And I will add the days of the week later. But this one, I will have the banner come down from the top. So again, I'm going to extend down, and it's important to know where your middle line is, because this one, I do want it to be centered. So this is in centimeters here. And my middle line is the 2. I'm just going to put a little indicator there. You could do 2 sets of banners down. And that gives you a center line. And I'm making parallel lines. You could have a pointed tip, or you could have a flag tip, just depending on what you're wanting to do. And then bring across the top. So those are two different types of banners. That's actually pretty cute as a pair. I am going to come in. It's not going to be the whole way over. I'm going to come in one dot from each side. And then this one, I think I will come down 3 dots. And we'll just have a wavy line. Like I said before, we could just do an arrow. You come to your center point. Actually, I like that better. So to draw that, have your center point again, which is my 2. And I'm just going to make it easy on myself and draw a straight line from the edge to the center. Straight line is relative because I'm not using a ruler. All right, so now I have extended above the top here, and I can make a little curve so that it looks like it's coming over the top. And at one point, little flags that I picked up at Target in their dollar bin, and they were magnetic flags, and I wanted to show you what those look like. So this is what it kind of looks like. And if it doesn't connect all the way to the top, I have another one here that it drops down. Just cute little flags, but you can see that's what we're emulating, is when we make that little extra mark there. So Wednesday, I will keep this line here, and then I am going to draw just slightly in on both sides and in between the dots. You can totally use a ruler if you want, but again, the lines are parallel. And then I'm going to end each line right here. You can keep this. This is a cute little label. Or if you want to have a banner look, I'm going to keep it up here. I'm actually going to end the banner at the top just because I have some extra space. So then, again, I draw parallel lines, just slightly upward and inward. And then this was about a dot's length, so I started on the dot here. I'm going to go just that same height. Now I've got another set of parallel lines, and then I'll draw the cute little flag ending shapes here, just eyeballing. And then you draw downward. So end that, and you can leave it like that, or you can draw a connecting diagonal line, make it look like a ribbon. One of my very favorite, besides the parchment, which I probably will do, I'll probably do that one on Friday, just because I'll have a little bit of extra room at the side. But one of my favorite, I'm going to extend the box up here. I need to remember to draw lighter with my pencil. If you're doing this, make sure you're drawing very lightly with your pencil. I have to draw a little bit darker so that you can see it on screen. So I'm going to come down about 1 dot, and I'm going to draw the upper line, and you can see that it's curved. And then I'm going to estimate where I want to start again and just follow the curve. And it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. But you can see it's about 2 dots length. So it's about 1 centimeter, and you'll want it to end and start with 1 centimeter. So if you are struggling with keeping your curved lines parallel, give yourself some guides. So once you've drawn your top line, come down 1 centimeter or however high you want it. And just follow the curves of your line and give yourself some lines to follow. Give yourself some marks to follow. Start and just connect the dots at that point. And that way you'll have a more parallel line. I extended beyond the edge, and you could finish it off just by curving around, top and the bottom, or let's see, or you could make another curve and bring that out, ending. So when you end right here, before I made those extra curves, it's like the banner is wrapping around the paper. You can have it come up and finish over here. The way to make it look like it's continued down, you don't want to connect the bottom to the top. You want to have the bottom connect to the bottom. So just drawing a line here helps you think of where the lines are connecting. The top will connect to the top and the bottom will connect to the bottom. And then I will not draw these in. In fact, I'll erase them. This is an idea. And then this is on so I could also, I could keep this and not have included this. So if you can see that, so it looks like it's curving around and coming in out from behind the box. So that's another option that we could do. I don't know, I kind of like it in front. So for Friday, I do want to make it look like parchment, and parchment is really fun to draw. I start on one side and then I'll follow the same line on the other side. And I like to have a little bit of a curlicue, so I'm going to leave room for that. You can see the shape of the paper. And then I draw a top line and a bottom line. And these will be the same width apart. And you can see it is going into this other box here. Just keep that in mind that you may have to reduce the size of your text because you've got your curve, or you need to allow some extra space on the ending side. And then I'm going to just follow this curve down. And follow this curve right here. I don't need to show the curlicue inside because it is rolled up inside. And then draw my other lines here. I've got, let's bring this in just a little bit more so it looks like curved paper. And then you draw your tops and your bottoms, and then there is another curlicue that I added right here. We will start here, and again I'm leaving a little bit of extra space between the two sets of lines. And I am going to bring this down. These days are not going to be as big. And then I'll leave a little bit of extra room down here. So now, I'm just going to draw a couple of straight lines. They are, in this case, they are 2 dots apart. or 1 centimeter, and I'm just drawing it similar to what I did up here over the edge. And I'm not going to add more detail to it. I've got my little trusty little sticky note pack, and I'm actually just going to use it for the sticky. So I cut a strip of paper. I actually cut it just a little bit big, so you can just adjust the size of your banner or the size of your paper that you cut. And that's just about perfect. Okay, so I'm putting this over the top, and then I am going to give myself some additional guides. And I need to know what I want to write over top of it. So I probably will just write SAT, and the A, I can write a small a. This one takes a little bit of planning. So I'll be able to see this, but if I write the A with a crossbar in the top, I may not know what that is. So either I need to move the crossbar up taller or down below. Or, because right here is going to that's how it's going to look. So I could also do a lowercase a and just make it be tall. See how that looks. Still can't tell what that is. I think I like this one better. And maybe I will do the lower crossbar down there. All right, so in this case, I'm just going to write completely over the top of this, following my guides here, just a little bit above and beyond, which is fine with me. I leave enough space at the bottom so that you can tell that it's an A. So that looks really fun, and this would even just be fun to write like that anyway. But then I'm going to peel this off my sticky note. And this is a hard tip. I can never say the right name, but it's a Tombow hard tip marker, and I'll link it below. The hardest part about these videos is 1, saying things correctly, and 2, when I'm talking, making sure that I spell the words correctly. And this one I am going to just curve up, follow the line. So my center point, and I will have it go edge to edge in this case. Oh, you know what? This one is 4.5. So I can bring it over 1. Sometimes it's good to measure. This Friday is a little bit wider, that's why. So my center point is at the 2 right here. And I'm going to start 1 dot down and 1 dot and end 1 dot down. I'm going to come up, meet the center point, and then curve back down. And the same thing, I'm going to do 2 lines, go up 1 line, up 1 dot. It'll take a little bit sometimes maybe of correction. And then I will extend this beyond the edge. And then I will come up and do another curve on both sides. And this one will go behind the box on Saturday, and this one will go in front. So I'm going to come up and in just a little bit so the fabric looks like it's curved in, come up and in, and follow the same curve. Or you can do straight. Either way is fine. In fact, maybe I will do both to show you what it looks like. But so here's the straight side, and the upper corner goes to the upper corner, and then it can just come straight down. And then It is 2 dots apart. So I can just draw 2 dots apart and end. And you can do, of course, an indent if you want to. And then on this one, come up and in just a little bit. And if you want to, you can curve it. And you won't see a whole lot because it's going behind the Saturday. And then draw straight down and then your diagonal line. This effect is kind of cool. It's another curved one, but it doesn't have the ends. And I am going to go off the edge just a little bit. And again, the parallel lines. Actually, you know what? This one will stay inside, so that I can give you the right effect for it. So I'm going to end it just on the inside of both sides. And what you do afterwards, you come straight down and do a horizontal line here. The bottom touches just the horizontal line. And then once we get this in place, and I will fill this in with marker or something, it looks like a shadow. It looks like a curved piece of paper. Like this. And you can see the shadow underneath it. So I thought that was kind of cool. So in this case, I'm just going to draw a rectangle. And I'm not going to worry about the other boxes. And then I am going to take from dot to dot and just do a little curve. And another way to make this look fancy is to trace on the inside parallel lines. This is actually one of my favorites, is I do kind of a long S curve. And then I draw straight down, however long, however tall I want it to be. And that gives me a guide. And then same thing, duplicate that over here. So this curve is actually going behind and this will go in front. And then I follow the same line. You won't have to go as deep of a curve on this side, and then you just draw straight down so that you're ending the banners. There are some banners for you to try. I did promise that I would show you one of my bullet journals that has this one. The other thing that you can do with parchment is add some extra lines to make it look old. So in this case, what I would do is come in and just add a little bit of detail here. So it's like the edge of the page is a little bit worn. Or it could be a fresh decree from the queen or king, you know, whomever. So that is an option that you can do. And then you can color it a little bit darker where the tears are, and also color it a little bit darker on the inside if you're adding colors. And then this is a banner. Whoops. This banner is similar to this one. Got the curve on it, it's just curved the opposite way, and then it's got the flag ends to it. So there are some ways to do that. So in this case, if you wanted to go up, you could draw a couple of curved lines like this and change it up completely and put the banner at the top. So those are some ideas, and real quick, let's see if I can find them in here. Here is one that I did, another on parchment where it looks very worn. It's a worn pirate map. And then here is another one. So, and this one is Santa's list. I figured this was going to be fresh every year because he keeps track of it. And now what I'm going to do is fill these in and just darken in the edges. Links are in the description below for all products used, as well as links to the blog post in the video. And I have also created a step-by-step guide that you can print and download. So that should do it for today. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and leave a thumbs up on the video. And don't forget to visit me on my social media channels. You'll often get sneak peeks on Instagram and Twitter, and I do have a whole lineup of inspiration on my blog and on my Pinterest account. I hope you remember to plan your life so that you live beautifully. And don't be afraid to discover your inner muse. See you next time.